Hi guys, it's Machaela and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the finale of my top 5 series. And for the finale, I am doing my top 5 discontinued eyeshadow palettes that I wish would bring back. I have done, I think, pretty much everything in my makeup collection with the exception of a few that I just didn't really have a 5 that worked. But anyway, I will leave that playlist link down below if you are interested, but let's go ahead and get into it. Now, 4 out of these 5 palettes are actually from Urban Decay. When I bought these palettes, Urban Decay was definitely a favorite formula of mine, and it still is a favorite formula. Next to Natasha Denona, Urban Decay is probably my favorite eyeshadow palette formula. I like it because it's very beginner friendly. The colors, though they don't have a whole lot of pigment, they have a very buildable pigment, which I feel like is very ideal for somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with makeup, whereas I feel like Natasha Denona is more for someone who does have the experience and does know how to work with how to apply eyeshadow. So Urban Decay is definitely probably my second favorite formula in my collection. But let's go ahead and start with the first ever Urban Decay Naked palette I have received, and I actually received this as a Christmas present, but it is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. This palette has been well loved in my collection. They're all matte shades. I mean, this shade here has a little bit of shimmer in it, but they're all matte. It's my go-to eyeshadow palette when I'm wanting a look that's a little bit more, I like to use the term sophisticated, but a little bit more mature, a little bit more elevated. Something I like to wear when I'm going into a crowd that I kind of have to be put together and not overdone and not full glam. So this is definitely my go-to palette with that. You've got some burnt shades here. You've got some warm tones, some cool tones, and then you've just got some shades over here to like lighten up the look a little bit or just set down your eyeshadow. So I really feel like this is an eyeshadow palette that you can do a lot with. And again, I was so sad when I learned that this palette was discontinued. It's a favorite of mine. And next we've got the Urban Decay Stone of Vibes palette. This came out a couple of years ago. I absolutely love it. I love the shimmers in here. I feel like they could have done a more like neutral transition shade as well as a neutral deeper shade, but like these shimmer shades, let me say that 5 times fast. These shimmer shades are so unique. They're beautiful on the eyes. They've kind of, like, it's hard to tell what they look like in the pan until you start swatching them and start wearing them. So putting a look together can be a little bit difficult if you don't swatch them first, but every shimmer is beautiful. They're not quite a duochrome, but they're just very unique, and I have a hard time describing the kind of shimmer it is, but just they're very unique. And when I got this palette, I was thrilled. I was on the fence as to whether or not I was going to buy it, but then just playing with these, they're so beautiful, and I really wish that they would bring them back. Then we've got the famous Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I have traveled with this palette. I've done so many looks with this palette. It's one of my favorite palettes. I feel like you can get any kind of look. You've got your colorful tones, you've got your neutral tones, you've got some warm, some cool. So this is really an all-in-one palette, and I don't know why Urban Decay would have gotten rid of this because it's such a unique palette and it is so popular. Even to this day, I still hear people talking about it. It's just you get pretty much everything under the sun with this palette. I mean, you've got like a transitional shade plus a setting shade, a few more transitional shades, some deeper shades, some cool tones, some berry tones, some pops of blue and green. I mean, you pretty much have everything you need in this palette, and I love reaching for it. The last Urban Decay eyeshadow palette my sister actually got for me for Christmas one year, and that is the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. So basically, this has all the shimmers and metallics you will ever need. You've got your neutrals on this side, your colors on this side. Goes with any palette. It pairs well with any palette. I've heard it been said that this was a palette that does need to be paired, but I mean, you can wear shimmers in the crease mostly just because it doesn't have any mattes. So pretty much I would say pairing these two together would be your best friends because you got your all mattes and your all shimmers, and it's perfect. And the last of my eyeshadow palettes, this is probably my newest one of these top 5, but it is the Tarte Young, Wild, and Cruelty-Free palette. Again, I absolutely love the color story. I love the shimmers. I am obsessed with these berries. These are some of the best berry tones in my collection. You've got, much like the Urban Decay Born to Run, you've got your pops of blues over here, your pops of oranges, your berry tones. There's so many looks you can do with this. This shimmer here is pretty unique, and again, I love it. I don't know why Tarte got rid of it. Oh, it's the Tarte Unleashed palette. I knew this wasn't the title, I just read it on the back, but it's the Tarte Unleashed palette. I bought this when it first launched. I fell in love with it. It's one of those palettes that I really wish would come back to the market because it's such a good color story. It's such a good formula. And again, I love it. Anyway, that was the finale of my top 5. I will leave the entire playlist linked down below. Let me know what kind of series you'd want to see next. I'm debating, you know, I'm kind of looking at doing like letter rankings, like everything from Anastasia, Bare Minerals, and just kind of going through the alphabet and doing it that way. I'm thinking about adding more tutorials and makeup looks onto my channel, so let me know kind of what you want to see. I'm not quite sure where I want to go next, but I do want to continue to do videos like this. I enjoy filming them. I hope you guys enjoy watching them, so that's where I'm at. And if you are new here, my name is Michaela. I do videos focusing on beauty and lifestyle, and my goal on this platform is to share my love for beauty as well as my love for Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I do have some lifestyle content coming. Like I mentioned in my last video, stay tuned because I've got some big things happening and I can't wait to share them with you guys. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, and if this stuff is not what you're into but you still want to stick around, I'd love to have you. So hit that subscribe button, and I will also leave my Instagram handle linked down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.